The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Butcher's Bible Podcast. I am your host, Ant.
I'm Luke.
We're two blokes preaching a good word of the meat industry.
One episode at a time.
Nice. Nailed it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest for you today or tonight or this evening. We have the one, we have the only, we have the Charlie Shaw. How are you doing, mate?
Thank you. Yeah, good. Thanks. Really well. Thanks for having me on. Love the show. I'll do. It's a great podcast, and yeah, thanks for inviting me. It's a real honour, really. We've had some great people, so try and spread the love of the meat industry, really.
That's what we're all about. Do you want to take this moment to plug and promote everything Charlie Shaw?
I was 39, and when people don't give their ages, you can't say to just about. I'll get my toes out and count. 39, I guess owner of Flock Herd in Peckham, southeast London, and in Beckenham. We've been going 12 years in September. Started with me on my own in the shop in Peckham. It was a brand new business, so I opened it up off just on my own. And we've slowly grown to a team of 15 with 2 shops, a third premises, which is where we kind of do our wholesale to restaurants, and it's kind of slowly organically growing to quite a big business, really. Cool. Great loyal team. We've got 3 vans that go out on the road Tuesday to Saturday, delivery to restaurants. So we supply anyone from a Michelin star restaurant in London to a local cafe in London. We're cool. We're just in the middle of a big refit in our Peckham shop, which is our original shop, which has been a big investment, but I'm sure we'll get onto that, which is great fun and exciting. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell, really. That's us. I try to be not the face of the business as such, because I'm a believer that it's not, the business isn't, I couldn't do it without everybody else at work. So hence why we're called Flock Herd. I didn't want my name associated with it, not because I'm not proud of that or anything. I just, I like not being the face of the business and kind of not stepping back at all, because I'm in every day, but just, I like it when customers don't know that I own the business, and that's where I want it, and I'm no everyone else at work, really, and we couldn't be where we were.
You're as good as the team around you. It's not just necessarily
100%, Luke, and I'll get onto that in a bit, really, but that's us in a nutshell. Slowly growing. We haven't got any investment, externally or anything. It's all kind of off my own back. We're doing really well in a tricky climate, I guess, but we've just kind of got lots of avenues where we kind of sell stuff, and it's not focused on part of the business. So it's really good. It's exciting, and I enjoy it and love it, and that's why I'm still doing it, really.
He's stubborn like the rest of us.
That's what it is. You can't get
it's not easy, but it's tough sometimes. It's good.
It's very cool. I want to get into how you got started. You say it was a new business venture. Is that your first dip into working for yourself in the butchery trade?
Yeah, I started when I was, I think, 19 or 20. So did 3 years at A level, got 3 E's. I was always kind of working. And I've always been into food, cooking, and I just have always, didn't want to be a chef. I started just randomly to saw online a sausage course. It was down in Sussex somewhere. Went there for the day. This was when kind of butchery courses were really rare. You couldn't do them. I think it was River Cottage and 3 hours in the country. Did that, loved it, but ended up buying a sausage maker and making sausages at home. One thing led to another. I then said to mum and dad at the time, I'm enjoying it. I kind of I kind of want to do something, I want to pursue this a bit more. Found a full-time course up in Leeds, which I had family who lived there anyway, and that's where my dad's from, just to do an MVQ years ago, level 2 in meat poultry processing or something. So saved up for a year, and moved up to Leeds it's now called Leeds City College, to the only, at the time, full-time dedicated butchery course in the country. I was there, which was brilliant. I managed to get into a student hall, so I lived with kind of Leeds uni student people, but obviously didn't have the coursework and just the practical aspect. So was there for a year doing kind of Monday to Friday, 9 till 3:30, and literally we would just we'd get a body of beef a week. We had a butcher shop in the college on a Friday that was open that the students would run. We'd get 3 or 4 sides of pork, and we'd just learn whole thing. Yeah, it's really
shop in the college.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And
is that where the public could come in and purchase
public or people that worked at the college would come and support it.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, it was brilliant. Yeah, no, I remember. I'm still really close to my college tutor now. And it was just fantastic looking back at it. And it was because it was a catering college, there were chefs that would come in one day a week who were also doing a level 2 from the college and do butchery one day as well. And it wasn't like you touched on it the other episode, you need repetitive skill, but we were learning different methods from different ways. We were learning the kind of different muscles, the different bones, the different structures, everything really. We went around abattoirs, we went to farms, we did everything. Nice. We entered an old BPEX competition, we won. It was a good laugh. It was really good. And then after the year, I was a bit like, right, shall I stay in Leeds and kind of live this life of a student I've been living and going out most nights on about 20 quid and drinking snake bites and getting in at 4 a.m, or shall I move back to London? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So shall I move back to London and start my career? So I was like, geez, where do I want to work? And the best place that I could think of to work was at the Ginger Pig. So when I was in Leeds, I called them up and said, look, I'm in Leeds. Can I come and work for a week? They were like, yeah, brilliant. Come on. So I went to the farm, visited the owner. Then I went to Marylebone to work in their shop when they only had 2 shops at the time. Worked at Marylebone. Then the boss called me and said, Chaz, do you want to fancy working full-time when you finish your course? I was like, yeah, brilliant. Moved back with mum and dad in Greenwich, where I'm from, and worked there for 5-6 years, and ended up kind of cutting meat and delivering it when Hawksmoor kind of had one restaurant with a cafe, some kind of top-end restaurants, not quite realising what it was or who I was kind of dealing with in a way. We did a big mutton renaissance things for Prince Charles at the time and delivered it to the Ritz. And it was just really cool because that time in London, the food scene was kind of just about coming up, and I remember when I kind of started.
What sort of year would this be?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Luke. It was most probably about 12, no, more than that, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years ago, possibly. Yeah. And then I was working at Marylebone, and I used to occasionally work at Borough Market, which was fantastic because the buzz of Borough at the time, it's still a great place, but back then it was the only place you could get decent mushrooms in London. It was the only place you could get a latte, a flat white. It was the only place where you could get great food in London, under one roof. And there were a couple of Kiwi and New Zealand butchers. For some reason, we always had them at the market. And they kind of took me under my wing and kind of were like, look, Chaz, you work hard, you're cool, come and do a day or 2 here. Ended up working at Borough Market full time. They kind of moved back to Australia. They taught me a load of stuff, looking back kind of pre-social media, you're kind of boning out top bits of beef on the rail, stuff I'd never seen at college, so that kind of different aspect to it. And Borough was brilliant, you'd serve anyone from anyone, ended up running Borough Market when I was about 25, I think. Looking back at it, we were so busy. Wow. We were taking every week, I'm going back about 13, 14 years, 15 years. We were taking 20 grand plus a week, at least. And I just remember at the time thinking back, and that was all kind of cash. I remember this is mad, and it was busy. We won kind of butcher shop of the year in the South. And that was when I was running it. at that age, and they were fantastic to me, Ginger Pig. But my kind of time had come to kind of explore other avenues. I'd always wanted to do my own thing, always kind of did that. So I then moved to a butcher shop in Greenwich, which is near me, because I know the owner, for a year or two, just to gain a bit more experience. And then just an empty art gallery in Peckham had kind of come on the market. My cousin lived in East Dulwich, and it was kind of, the area was slowly, even back then, it was kind of, it's not what it is today, you know, for good or bad or whatever, but, you know, it was kind of, the overground was coming. It was a lovely area of London, and we just kind of opened the shop on my own. And Lyle, who's with me now, still my kind of assistant to me now, was working I got him a job at the Ginger Pig on Saturdays, because my wife was trained to be a dancer, and I said, "Oh, Libs, you know anyone at Christmas who can help me? He's going to work hard." She was like, "Yeah, I know Lyle. He's from a farm kind of background. He shoots." I was like, "Yeah, brilliant. Get him along." And then I said to him, "Right, if I open a shop, you come and work with me." He was like, "Yeah, brilliant." And then ever since, he's been with me, and we kind of got other team members. Sean's been with me, who manages Beckenham, has been with me for almost 11 years. Charlie runs Peckham's been with me for 10 years almost. So we've got a great team of like, you know, we're all relatively young speaking. So, and that's where we are today, really. We opened Beckenham 4 years ago. That was really good. That's gone really well. Now it's in the middle of a really...
That's a butcher shop and deli, isn't it? Sort of,
correct, yeah. So I kind of pulled on all the suppliers I knew from Borough. So people like Monmouth Coffee. We don't do lattes or coffee to go, but we sell the beans and the ground. We sell Neil's Yard Dairy Cheese, who I've known for years. We sell Monge cheese. So at Christmas, people come in and they don't often just buy their turkey. We've also got Roxanne, who I've known, and Sean used to work at Neil's Yard, who you worked in Neil's Yard, now runs a charity. She does our cheese at Christmas, and she's fantastic. So people come in and go, "Oh, cool," and then they'll be like, "I'll have half a kilo of Colston Bassett Stilton. I'll have 250 grams of Lincolnshire Poachers. I'll have a ton worth. I'll have a small second." They're paying like 60 quid on fantastic British and, you know, artisanal cheeses as well as their meat. So it's all this whole kind of circle. And we would do it in Peckham, but the shop's too small, so we're kind of a bit more of a food destination, and just suppliers that I've known for years, really, and people that do great stuff. So that's been really, really good. So that's kind of coming into its own, Beckham. And it's tough opening up a butcher shop that's not a butcher shop already. It's really tricky because you're going from nothing to something. The fit out, as I'm noticing now, is an absolute fortune to do it properly.
Oh yeah,
we opened up with 20 grand, and then the refit we're doing now is going to be 150, near to 200 grand, you know. So it's a huge investment, you know, that I've saved up for, you know, over the years. So, and it is tricky to try and build a brand, I guess, to then hope that people come and, you know, like me, it's a hard sell sometimes, you know. You know, but we've got some really good loyal customers. You know, people, I always often say to the guys at work, it doesn't matter how much people spend, as long as they're polite and they return, I'm happy. I really couldn't care less how much you spend. If you come in every week and spend £1, great, come back again. You know, as long as people are polite and buy into what we do, that's great. And that's fantastic. And that's all we can hope for as a retail and kind of wholesale business, really.
Great mentality to have.
Yeah, so that's where we're at, really.
I think it's amazing. Like, for you to...
That's awesome.
You opened Beckenham in 2020, right?
Yeah.
Was that amidst the... was that post?
Man, Luke, that was such a... So we got... So,
I mean,
fortunately...
we met at the PFL night. We touched on this a little bit, and we were both like, don't want to talk about it. It's a can of worms.
It was just mad. So what had happened is I wanted to buy, if we opened a second shop, I wanted to buy the actual freehold of the property to secure the future of the business. So we bought the shop in Beckenham. It was already trading as an art gallery. 2 weeks into there, where they signed the lease, they decided to leave and not pay the rent. I then and obviously I didn't have the money then to do the kit out, so I rented it out for 2 or 3 years to a kind of beauty salon. And then we, at the end of that short lease that we gave to this lady, we were going to move in, kit it all out, but kind of sort it all. Staff were all sorted. It was all ready. It was all planned. And then they were doing the refit at the time, HK, who we're using now. who were brilliant. They were like, Chaz, I don't know if we can finish this job. Like, I don't know if we can get down. And I was like, what do you like? And the Peckham shop at the time, we were having busier weeks in Peckham than we have done at Christmas. And it was just intense. It was just so mad. I mean, looking back at it, it was bonkers. You know, we sell wine in the shop. You know, we sell St. John's wine. We've never sold, because everyone was like, it's only going to last a month. You know, we were selling so much wine, and then our suppliers were saying you can only have what you had last week, which is totally fair because there obviously wasn't enough meat to go round. But so we delayed the opening of Beckenham because we just didn't have enough staff. We physically didn't have enough staff, and we couldn't service Peckham and Beckenham. And I didn't want to, after working so hard and saving up, I didn't want to open the shop when it wasn't ready. I wasn't up for that, which looking back, I think was a good option. And we just opened it up, in the June, I think, in the July of that year of COVID. So, and it happened in kind of February, didn't it? So it was all still a bit weird and a bit odd. You know, I think we just threw away the old hand sanitizer at the front of the shop about a month ago. But yeah, it's just, So we then, 4 years we've been open there, and it's been great. Very different customer and different clientele, but everyone's different and welcome. And that's the beauty, I guess, of London. You don't have to travel that far to get a different perspective of what people want, or what you think will sell that doesn't sell, that you think, you know, might sell that doesn't. That's what really keeps you on your toes, you know. So it's really interesting. So it's cool. It's going well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's good.
So
you go, Anne. I've asked all the questions so far.
I know. I was like,
I was waiting for you. I was like, come on.
No, I know. I was just like, he's going to say something, but I know you too well that your eyebrows go funny. So your time during you were at the Ginger Peak, were you around the same time that George Donnelly was there?
No, not at all. No, I left when, so 12 years ago. So there's nobody, I don't think, at the Ginger Peak who was there when I was there.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's just a turnover of staff that, I mean, when I was there wasn't a huge turnover of staff, but people come and go kind of stuff. It's a shame, really. So that's what I'm quite proud of, the way I've run my business. I'd like to think that we don't have that. You know, people come and go, and I guess social media is a lot bigger now, so you're kind of aware of people who work in different shops and names and what they look like, you know, kind of thing. But I was literally just no. So no.
There's a lot of no's.
Yeah.
You sure? No. So in Borough Market, I haven't been there for many years.
Yeah,
probably 8 years now. I think I went there early on in my butchery career, but never really ventured back. How do you see it's changed from then to now, do you think?
Well, when I left, it was getting, I mean, it's like, I don't blame anyone. It's like when I go abroad, I go to a food market and look. So what had happened was, over the time, is where people would come and do their weekly shop, and Fridays was massive because office workers around London Bridge would come and get their steaks and stuff. And it kind of turned into a bit of people would just come for lunch and hot food and leave and not buy any produce. And I kind of got you kind of got that reason. And people would just come up and just take a picture of you whilst you were kind of butchering, which is fine if people are. But there were times where I was a bit like, hang on a minute, I'm just trying to work. And it just kind of got to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. And it was so cold at Christmas. I remember once it snowing inside. Nice. And I kind of got the most out of working there that I thought I could get out. And it was a brilliant, buzzy atmosphere, and it was great. But it's a lot different from what it is now. And I don't think, like you say, Luke, why would you go there when there's great coffee shops everywhere now. I still think Monmouth's one of the best in the country, but there's a lot you can now get. I mean, the food scene in England's remarkable since when I started to now. You know, it was like there weren't any decent butchers. Now there's loads. I could reel off 15 butchers in this country that are great. You know, you couldn't get a latte in a nice place. You couldn't get farmhouse cheeses anywhere, unpasteurized cheddars. Now you can get them in a lot of places. You know, the food scene in this country has been fantastic, I'd say. It's second to none. And I think Borough was the top of it, and then obviously other places have pushed up. and all of a sudden it's kind of dropped down, and now it's just a bit where people go for lunch, a bit of a piss up, and tourists go there, which I've nothing wrong with at all, because I do it when I go abroad, but not for, I'll go there for a nice pork chop or a roast chicken. I think it's a different, people go to the Ginger Pig now for a sausage roll, and that'll be it. I guarantee they're their biggest sellers, and that's all they sell. And I kind of got into that a little bit then, and I was just like, yeah, you know, kind of thing. So, which is a shame. I think it's just the changing times, really. There's certainly post-COVID tourists coming back. It's heaving up there, you know, which is a shame, really, but it's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, last time I was at the Barra Markets, because they sell the Dorset oysters as well, just like tucked off onto the right-hand side. And the guy was talking to the bloke there. You can kind of see around the corner, and I think maybe within like the 10, 15 minutes, the bloke who was behind the counter maybe sold about 60 sausage rolls themselves. And I was like, that's in a small space. Like, I hope you've got thousands lined up. Like, like I had 2 sausage rolls myself from them, because that's like the pinnacle. Like, you know, I was out there, and then I was eating oysters at the same time. I was like, this is brilliant.
It's great. I mean, it's great if you're a tourist. I mean, I'd love it. I mean, I still do go there and just have really fond memories, and just kind of looking back and going, Christ. But what is amazing, there's still customers that come to our shop in Peckham who I used to serve there. So there's customers that I've been serving for 15, 16, 17 years, you know, who come into our shop in Peckham, who used to come to Borough Market, which is brilliant. You know, there's kids who I see who are taller than me now. I'm like, geez, I knew you when you were little. You know, there's a few customers who I'm just like, I've known you for years. I saw 2 of them on Saturday, 2 separate couples who come in every week to Peckham, who I used to know at Borough Market, and it's just lovely. It's great, you know.
It's a good homely community, especially like you got the work life, and then you've got like the outside life, and they like meet in the middle there, and you like even outside of work or inside of work, it's just friends catching up, as well as you're serving them like a great like quality meat.
Yeah, it's a buzzy place. I mean, Borough I've still got a special place in my heart for it, you know, and I love going back there occasionally. And we supply a few restaurants that are in Borough, which for me is quite humbling in a way, because they've come to us, not somebody in Borough. And, you know, there's Camille that's opened up in Borough who's doing amazing stuff. Elliot is head chef. There's a great couple of reviews in the Times and National. And it's just like, man, I feel so humbled to be able to supply them, and they've reached out and we're supplying them. You know, and that's what I get most joy out of. And, you know, it's, you know, like we supply St. John's in Smithfield, you know, one of the most famous British restaurants. And I started this on my own 12 years ago. You know, we're now supplying a Michelin star restaurant. I'm just like, you know, they use other meat suppliers, but just to be able to do that is like, wow, Christ. Totally. Sometimes it gets a bit too much for me. Like the other day when they were ripping out the shop, I felt really emotional about it all, because there's so many hours that not just me, all the guys at work have worked, you know, and it's just like, wow, you're just ripping out all my memories. I don't know how I feel about this, you know, and there's big attachment to it.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling as well, man. When I ripped my shop apart, I was just
it's sad, isn't it? Yeah, I almost cried the other day.
Yeah. Countless hours over that bench, countless hours of that sink washing up, countless hours in the fridge cleaning it, breaking beef and lamb and pork and everything down it. And it's just like, goodbye. Goodbye.
Well, just knowing the smallest little thing, like how the handle fit, I don't know, the door handle work, or just I don't know, stuff, shit like that.
I had the leg like on one of my, like where my computer chair was. I had like one of the legs that was like, I had like all the bamboo skewers wrapped around it, so I taped it completely up. And I was like, no one fucking bounce on this chair. You sit down gently. You break my fucking chair, I'm gonna kill you. And everyone was like, all right, we get it about your chair, man. And I was like, cool.
Yeah.
And then when I threw that in the bin, I was like, fuck.
Should have kept it.
It's even like
no one's gonna keep it.
Little dent, the smallest little dent in the wall, where it's like something could be connected to a dent, and you're like, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, it was like, do you remember when we dropped that, or there's a bit of sausage meat on the ceiling that's been there for like a decade? You're like, it's just
very good. I love it.
So anyway,
I want to get into your shops. You know what? What really do you feel sets you apart to your competitors?
Good question. It is a competitive market in London, certainly. I mean, I'll be the first to say I'm not the best butcher. There's better butchers than me at work, and there always has been. And I'm not, but I think what separates us from other butchers is quality and service. I'd like to think, and the range of products that we stock and offer. So we've been very straight up from the start. We sell a free range chicken and we sell a barn reared chicken, and we're selling a barn reared chicken as free range that I know a lot of people do. We've not done that. We make all of our own sausages, which some of our competitors don't. We dry age our beef, we get insides of beef, but we also buy in cuts of beef as well. We buy insides of pork and we buy in pork trim. We buy, we get in whole lambs, so we've been pretty straight up. Our range is pretty extensive, really. We just make all of our own marinades in-house. A guy the other day was saying a good one, we make all of those ourselves. We make all of our own sausages. We have done from day one. If you want something, we'll get it for you with notice. So if you want veal shin, if you want veal sweetbreads, if you want a crate, something like that, we can do all of that, which is great. We sell game in the season, we try and push that as much as you can. It's a tough sell, but we sell it, I think it's just what we need as a retail is repeat custom, and that's what we've got to try and please. And we sell loads of calves liver in one of our shops. I hate the stuff, so it's, you can't just sell what you like or what you think sells. I remember years ago, we were like, I've got loads of lamb trim. I was like, right, let's make a kofta. Now we sell about, over both shops, 30 kilos a week of lamb koftas that are 100 grams each, so it's just trying to, we sell meatballs. We're not mad on kind of glazes and value added products, but we sell Kievs, that we sell 150 a week. We sell a lot. We sell faggots, cool fat in the winter.
What do you call me?
So we do everything, and we do a good range, and I think that's the difference. And I just think service, you can't, it's not a race to the bottom in terms of price. We can't compete with, we like to be on a similar path to maybe M&S Top End and Waitrose. Really, that's where we're sat. Or we can, we can't be open. I mean, we're closed Sunday and Monday every week. We were open till 6 before COVID, now 5. I don't think we'll ever extend our hours. So the supermarkets and online can't do anything more than they're currently doing. There's no way. So the only way we can compete is with quality and service. And they're the only two things I think separate us as a high street butcher, certainly. So, yeah.
What about your sausages? What do you do with your sausages? Are they gluten-free or?
Yeah, always from day one. We've used Leonard's. We've used Leonard's from day one, actually.
Shout out.
Yeah, and it's mad. When they started doing the little advert or whatever, I was like, Jesus Christ, it's funny. And I've never used, at college we used like a Dalesbrook or Tray People, but a Dalesman product or whatever. So I've always been used to using mixes and stuff. I've always kind of wanted to do our own, and then Leonard's did a custom gluten-free batch which we've used since day one, so they've made us a spec for us. We've got to get in X amount of kilos, but that's fine. We don't add any of the pea rusk you guys have been talking about. It's purely gluten-free, just because it's certainly in London people are allergic. There's a lot of allergies, so there was preservatives, and then we did do a load of work with Leonard's to put a natural preservative in it, which was a celery extract, but it kind of lost its color a little bit. So we didn't go down that route. So I wanted to be preservative free, but we're not. And then we just use a base mix and we build upon that. So we'll put in leek flakes. We do a Toulouse, which is pork, parsley, bacon, red wine, and our base mix. We'll do it round, been doing Euro ones recently. We have like a mix of 6 main, and then we do maybe 2 or 3 others. We always do a merguez because we sell those to restaurants, a lamb and beef.
Love merguez.
Yes, and add it onto that. So, but they're all start off with the Leonard's based mix, and we build upon that. So we do an Old English, but it's added on it. So it's the Leonard's base, and then we add to it, really. We do an Italian fennel seed chili flakes. That kind of thing. So ground up fennel and seeds and that kind of thing. So that's who we use. They're great, really helpful. In fact, the other day we forgot to order the classic, and they got it out to us a week later. But it's great. They're really cool, really good.
Nice. Yeah, Leonard's are great. We love them.
Yeah, they're nice.
They're massive supporters of us as well, which is funny because we didn't think of anything. And they were like, "Oh, can we help out?" And we're like, yeah, okay.
Let's
work together.
I've never used any of their marinades because that's not our market really. We make our own, but sausage cheese as a service is really good. And then I remember they put the prices up because we were getting them in little bags, and now we just get massive big bags, and we weigh out our own seasonings 10-kilo batches. So now they're cheaper than they've ever been, which is great because we're not getting loads of plastic, which, we're really trying to reduce on the business in terms of our green credentials, and that's a big fight for us in the last 2-3 years. Is massive. We've tried to do loads of work on that, reduce everything, and just not use lights on not overnight, turn all of that stuff off, everything, and really go down our packaging and really trying to utilize everything as much as we can do.
Do you wrap in paper?
Wrapping in paper, yeah. So we've done a lot of people in Peckham bringing their own bags, which are great, and we developed you can get those envelopes, the kind of with the kind of meat paper, but it's an envelope that you seal upon it
with the tear off seal.
That's it. So we haven't got the tear off because that was a bit more money. We've just got new Avery scales, so we print off a sticker and put it on it. So in fact, it's a bag and it's the paper, because we were doing paper then into a counter bag, which we did have a biodegradable food waste one. Flock Herd one, but then that kind of ran out, and we've just now got the envelope, so we put it in Peckham. We haven't in Peckham yet, we need to get new scales there, but so reducing that. All of our bags of paper, we're just trying as much as possible to reduce our footprint as much as possible, and that's what we need to do really, and that's a good thing, so
I don't think many people have mentioned that apart from Jamie Waldron. I don't think anyone else has really sort of come on and said that they're really, I'm sure they are, but they're never really trying to push that and trying to show that they are, just to.
I mean, we're part of like this. I mean, I shouldn't be sour grapes, but I applied for on the Butcher Shop of the Year. There was a sustainability business. I applied for it, didn't hear anything about the person that won it. I looked on their Instagram, and all I do between you guys is research. I do loads of research. I don't turn off. I looked on their Instagram and then clicked on the location of the site. Went on it, and they were selling their chickens packed in one in plastic, and I was like, "You're having a laugh. You're absolutely you're not even visiting us." So we're down. I mean, we've done. I mean, Dad, who's the secretary of the business, does a load of research. I mean, down to our energy is eco energy. Down to trying to reduce basic stuff like not leaving any lights on overnight, being automatic, putting plastic screens in front of our fridges. We just basic stuff like that costs money but saves money equally.
Yeah.
We've done loads of behind the scenes stuff that you wouldn't quite know or notice. All of our banks are, supposedly green banks or whatever. So we've done loads of research into it all. We'll get an electric van as soon as they're good enough and cheap enough to do it. We're wearing leather aprons. We've done that. We've reduced all of that. And that's not just us wearing leather aprons. That's using British leather on our aprons, from a guy up in Brick Lane to reducing somebody driving from Essex every week into us to pick up our laundry, take it back to Essex, bring it back to us in the next week. They were charging us 500 quid a month, and we thought it was a contract. So I was just like, right, we've got to sort this out. And Lara
was that like a was it Sunlight or something like that?
It was with the massive people that do like hotels and stuff, and at Christmas it's never become, because we're always we're minimum close. I mean, there's another thing. I'm not the best of business, but I make sure we're always close minimum 4 days over Christmas, because I've got a young family and I need a life. I don't want to work Sundays. Even if we could be really busy, I'm not interested. I've got enough, but I'm quite happy in my life. I'm content with that. I don't need to work Sundays. I don't want to be open at 7 o'clock at night, because it'll be me that might have to do it. So it's just trying to, just be a lot greener and a lot, and just trying to push it, because the meat industry gets such a bad press about it all, and there'll be something soon that comes out about it all, and you've just got to do your utmost, especially in London, where people are kind of into that a lot more and have kind of a lot more on it in terms of sustainability and stuff. So like all of our fridges are with the proper gas in, so it's little things like that we really try and nail down on, really.
The biggest paper waster is going to be a HACCP. Have you gone digital on that?
All of our temperatures are, so this is all of our HACCP stuff is paper, but we sign it off each year. But we do all of our fridges, all of our walk-ins have got the kind of online monitoring, so I get an email if they go above a certain degree or below a certain degree. Our surveys haven't got those, because we take the meat out every night and turn off our fridges. That's another thing we just don't do, because I'm always up for, we need a new display every day and new trays. I've worked in places that don't do that. You know, we turn off the fridges every night and take it out. We leave our deli fridge in Beckenham actually to save a bit of time. But that's, you know, apart from that, all of our fridges come out and are cleaned, and we put a fresh display on every day.
That's that old schoolness. Like I did that as well. You rip the whole display out, clean it head to toe, bleach the lines, and then fucking off you go.
So we clean, and then we've got a dishwasher. I've never worked in the butchers that have got a dishwasher ever, but we clean it and then put it in the dishwasher and it comes out. So little things like that, we're just trying to change and just getting better. And then you get into loose habits. I've seen places where they just take the mincer head off and put it in the fridge. And I'm just like,
that drives me crazy.
I hate that.
Yeah.
A guy left our work and went to work at another butcher's in London. I won't mention who it was, and they'd never taken the bottom bit, you know, of the sausage filler off. But he was like, you're gonna laugh. He was like,
God.
And it's those things that puts our industry a bad name, regardless if meat is really good or not. It's just stuff like that. It's so lazy. It's so lazy.
It takes 5 minutes. 5-10 minutes to clean it and put it back together.
The summertime as well. All that stuff compacted on the bottom of that mincer in the summertime. There's maggots everywhere. Oh, fuck.
It's rough.
Yeah. So we don't cut any corners like that. It's just lazy. So, and it's bad practice. So.
And that gives you the primo product that sets you apart from the rest, doesn't it?
We try. That's all you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What does your summertime look like? Are you one of the people who stands in front of the block making endless amounts of kebabs?
So at the minute our Peckham shop's closed because HK and XL, who are, I mean, just going back on sustainability, all of our counters are made by XL up in Leeds. They're not shipped from Italy, you know, so it's like small things like that. Peckham shop's closed at the minute for 2 weeks. We're doing a little pop-up at our kind of production railway arch in Peckham on a Friday and Saturday. God knows how that will go. We might take 500 quid, I'm not sure. And then Beckenham is open, and they sell a lot of meat on sticks. Yeah. So Peckham is more, people will come in and will possibly, you know, will be up for, we sell like chicken heart skewers in Peckham with piri-piri on, you know, I mean, they're lovely. Nando's do them, and the markup is mental on them. That's the biggest markup. If we sell a kilo of chicken hearts, we sell the skewers for like 99p, and they cost us like £3 a kilo. Like, you make more money on that than you would selling 4 whole fillet, you know. But people don't, you know, it's that kind of mentality. So yeah, we have very different clientels. Where Beckenham will do a chicken and chorizo, we'll do a chimichurri beef. Rump steak, one that we call it, but that's all the kind of offcuts of sirloin, fillet, ribeye, you know, the kind of end bits. We do a lamb leg one with a marinated mince, and then in Peckham we do very different marinades, like a Szechuan pepper one. We do, you know, so it's just different clientels, you know. That's all we're catering for.
Yeah, I love they make all them in house as well, all them marinades.
100%. We've just bought a new mixer in Beckenham, and Sean's really into kind of food, great chef, so cook. So buy fresh herbs from our supplier, blips them all down, and the green is just amazing. You know, we do a chimichurri bavette steak, and that just flies out. You know, and I'd never really known of bavette until, Christ, 15 to 10 years ago. You know, like even at the ginger pig, we would just mince it. I mean, it's now like short ribs are mad. I remember even when I was at Borough Market, we'd never sell. We'd just bone out the whole. We'd bone out the whole bit and just roll it all up as brisket, you know. And now it's just like, what do you call a short rib? What you know? It's like, yeah, it's just mad, isn't it? It's bonkers. And it's just demand. It's supply and demand, and that's what you're dealing with, you know. And like, I don't mind admitting, in the summer, if we've got loads of fat, we'll just mince a big silver side, or, you know, we'll utilize everything. We've got because the wholesale business is a bigger part of our retail. We could, all of our beef from all of our kind of forequarters, our rib caps, they just go into mince, and we just buy in chucks, or we buy in leaner stuff, you know. So really, we can sell 60 kilos of chicken carcasses a week, and they're all just utilised.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So brilliant. Yeah, and we're selling beef bones at the minute for £3 a kilo to restaurants, you know, and they're going through not as many as we were, but we were going for a point we were running out. We were going for about 40 kilos a week, not as many now in the summer, but people will buy stocks, you know. It's great. So we only, between the 3 premises of the production and then the 2 shops, we go through maybe about 3 bone bins a week, and that will just be kind of stuff that's possibly gone out of date. That will just be like pork bones that nobody wants, lamb bones, a bit of beef bones we might not have sold, sinews, trim, that kind of stuff, like sausages that have popped, that kind of random stuff.
And that's just like normal wheelie bin size of bone bin.
Yeah, so they're just
that's so good.
Yeah, and I mean that's another cost that you don't quite factor in when they're how much we charge, but that's 200 quid a month. All those hidden little costs. So we've really and that's where the wholesale. I mean, what chefs will WhatsApp and I'll be like, oh, we've got this, it's brilliant. Send a WhatsApp. Oh yeah, great. I'll have a loin of beef tomorrow. I'm like, brilliant. That whole communication is great. It's not great on the other hand when someone texts you at 10 o'clock at night wants an answer, but we've kind of streamlined that at work. So it's such minimal waste in terms of meat. It's fantastic, really good.
That's brilliant. Do you with the beef? Because Luke said just before that you guys were Pasture for Life. Do you use those guys?
Yeah, so we got a load of beef from Pasture for Life, and Luke was there, and the quality is brilliant, but it's really hard getting people to deliver into London, central London, with beef. And it's very hard to get people. Yeah, that's really tricky. And just the quality was really good, but it was very hit and miss. Simon mentioned it at Faversham, who I really like, actually. I really warmed to him. I don't know him that well, but he just comes across as a really nice guy. And I've been to his shop loads of times. It's really great. He was just talking about the quality aspect and what you look. We got in some that were so lean, and we got in some that were really good. So it's very hit and miss, but we've not had a load of Pasture for Life. We've now going direct to a guy called George Young in Essex in Fobbing, who's just putting in 2 into the abattoir for us. And then there's like a lady who owns a B&P. This is how sad I am. You might appreciate this, but I was well into a point of really rare breeds. So I was like, right, I really want to eat some of this beef that's really rare. So I started Googling away. I found this lady who owns a B&B in Dover, and she's got this herd of Albions. So I called her up. I was like, or emailed her. Anyway, I didn't hear anything back. Got a random email one day. She was like, oh, Charlie. I was like, hello. So, Susanna Mannering from somewhere B&B. I was like, oh, you all right? She was like, I've got an Albion. Do you want it? And I was just like, yeah, brilliant. Send it in. So she's sending in to the abattoir that we work with in Essex, with a family-run abattoir that equally is incredibly rare to get. That's another thing that's hard. But she's sending in a purebred Albion, which is really rare, and a pure dairy shorthorn, original shorthorn into us, which is rare as well. So it's just that's what I enjoy, is finding little people like that. And she's not Pasture for Life, but George is, so it's finding those people that it's really hard to get a continuous supply of good beef continuously throughout the year. Like someone will say, I've got 4 that are ready, and you won't get anything for another 8 months or another 6 months, and it is tricky because we can utilize it all. The flanks go into mince, we're great. But we do a bit of Pasture for Life, not as much as I'd like, but I think it just needs to be slightly streamlined, but it's tough. But we do Pasture for Life beef. We don't sell it separately as our normal beef, because I don't want to get into that argument and false selling to people saying it's all Pasture for Life, because it's not. And I'd rather people come in, if they ask, or one of the butchers say, oh, this is Pasture for Life from so-and-so. So that's one of those things why we haven't separated it in the shop. And I don't want to have is this Pasture for Life? No, okay, I'll leave it. Is this Pasture for Life? Yes, I'll have it. I don't want that separation. So we do get life in, but not all the time, but not as often as I'd like. But we will do, and we're affiliated with them, or got the membership. So
sweet.
I mean, trying to get like beef into London, yes, I get that, but you're not carrying the fucking thing. You're driving it in a cool van.
It's just like, so we deal with Fowlers, who are a family-run abattoir out in Essex.
We use Fowlers.
So I mean, we it was just like, Luke, you'll know these people. Who are the STM or whatever down in Sussex? So they were
DTM now in Penfield.
So they didn't have a van that was ULEZ that would bring the Pasture for Life stuff to us. So Nigel at Pasture for Life was saying, oh yeah, great, can you get it? We'll get it from, and then we end up paying for delivery, and it was 50 quid a body. When we were getting 2, that was 100 quid. So I'm like, hold on a minute, I'm paying 100 quid just for the delivery, and I'm paying a bit of a premium on the product. it's not quite working out. And the amount of phone calls I'd have about this beef, when I could just pick up the phone, call up Fowlers in Essex who deliver to us 3 times a week and go, oh, have you got any nice beef from a local farmer? And they'll go, yeah, Chaz, we've got this brilliant Sussex or Redpole or whatever that's X amount of weight and this size. It's been graded as this from a farm, a bloke 2 minutes down the road. Here's the passport. Do you want it? And me go, yeah, brilliant, thank you. You know, and it's as simple as that. You know, I'm not dealing with a new invoice that I've got to tell my dad to put onto Xero and code it as a new supplier. I'm not paying a killing fee from another abattoir. I'm not paying a delivery fee, you know, so it's got to work more for us. And there's not many abattoirs that would deliver directly into central London with a ULEZ van that's got one of those loaders that come off.
Right,
you know? Trying to drive a 10-ton truck or whatever they are around London's a nightmare. So it is tricky, but we work with the Otter Valley Hoggets, which are the best farm I've ever visited ever in my life. And we buy his whole entire farm off him every year. And we start with 40 at Easter, and then he delivers every other week after Easter, 10 a week. And we lock in the price at the start of the season. And John's fantastic. His farm is beautiful. We'll sell 4. 4 of them went out to restaurants today, to chefs as whole. Wow. You know, so there's only not many left in, you know, and that's just me working and building relationships with chefs. You know, I've got salesmen going out there knocking on doors. It's just me, you know, and a chef leaves, another door opens, and that kind of thing. So we've got some really good suppliers, and I love relationships. You know, that's how I work. You know, I'm quite loyal to our suppliers, and they know what we like. So, yeah,
that's awesome.
I think that you're so open and honest, which I think people really appreciate. Because in years gone by, people have tried to pull the wool over people's eyes and are trying to sell normal beef as pasture for life, as an example, sort of thing. And I've realised that just education and communication is the most core thing you need to build a good relationship with people.
Oh, totally. Yeah. The guy last week mentioned it, who's got a farm shop or runs a farm shop in Sussex, who was touching on it. It was really good. I think we try and, like I said, cater for every demographic. You know, we get in brilliant. We're getting 10 whole lambs a week, at least in Peckham. We're getting 8 sides of pork and buying extra cuts for it. You know, we're buying forks, we're buying roastings, we're buying rump and loins, we're buying whole sides of beef. We're just trying to juggle it all. That's what we do, and try and find the best suppliers out there. And it's not easy finding good suppliers when you're buying in foreribs and loins of beef and that kind of thing, really. So,
cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Really cool. I want to touch on your team. You've spoken about them.
Yeah.
You said that, you know, you wouldn't be where you were today without them.
No.
But if you want to have a chat about them, shout them out.
I can promote.
I mean, we're very lucky. I mean, we've got Lyle, who's been with me since day dot, 12 years. Sean, who's been with us for 11 years. Charlie, who runs Peckham, has been with me for 9 or 10 years. And then we've got the next person would be Webster, who is a chef, young lad who's fantastic and works really hard. Has been started kind of just before COVID. And then we've got a few people who have been with us 2 or 3 years. One of our delivery drivers, Ralph, has been with us for 6 years. And, you know, and ultimately, if because a wholesale is a big part of the business, is kind of growing that way. Our delivery drivers are the face of the company, which some people laugh at me, but they're the ones representing us. When they walk into a restaurant with our uniform on, they're representing me and everyone else at work. And they're must be a little part of the reason why wholesale has grown so much, because they know who wants their meat early. They're very honest. They're very reliable. They turn up. You know, one of them did crash the van on Saturday, but it wasn't that bad. But, you know, everyone tries. And there's 2 people that are older than me at work, but we're all young. I say young. Trevor and Ralph are 2 drivers. They're older. They're kind of 60, but we're very, compared to outside of London, I guess, we're incredibly young butchers. So I'm the oldest in Peckham who works there full time at 39. Everyone's younger than me. You know, and that's really rare. But it's the only way this industry is going to get. I mean, we're looking for somebody now, and I like training people because I trained myself, and there's nothing worse than you pick up experience through other shops and that kind of way, but there's nothing worse than somebody coming into your business that you know and have worked so hard going, oh no, you don't do it like that. And I'm like, well, we do it like that, and it might not be right or wrong, but I think it might work for us.
Yeah.
Like I went into
it has done.
Yeah, totally. Like I went to Beckenham the other day, and they were taking the legs of lamb off without the chump and leaving the chump on the middle bit. And I said, "Oh, can we take them off with the chump on? Because there's a restaurant who take chump on legs of lamb, and they take like 8 a week. And now because we've taken that off, we can't take last week's lamb legs to them tomorrow. You know, so it's that whole, and that's why we take it off like that. You know, and some places do it like that. And in butchery, there's no right or wrong. And I always say this to people, because we do it one way, it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. Someone might do it another way. And that's, I guess, the beauty of the trade. And with small things like, I think we're the only London living wage affiliated butchers in London.
Wow.
So nobody else, I believe, point me out wrong if you want to go for a list of hundreds of organisations, but so people start off on a full-time wage of 13-15 an hour and move up from there. After 3 years, we've just started, when was it? 2 years ago, I think. My wife had a cancer kind of scare. It was nothing, thankfully, but at the time we went, she was so worried. I was like, right, we're just going to go private, credit card out, bang. And I said, me and Dad had a good chat, and he was like, Chaz, you just paid 400 quid for that. What you need to be doing is rewarding your staff. So now if you've been with us for 3 years, you can have Bupa private healthcare. They've got to pay a bit of that because it's a kind of weird kind of like benefit tax, but it's nothing to that peace of mind. So they can have.
It's amazing. That is truly awesome.
Yeah, totally.
It's incredible.
Like Lyle, who's my number 2, I've got 2 young kids, and when I had my first Florence, when I was 6 years ago, I had a month off, and that was the most perfect time of my life. I had a month off, and it was all good. And I've said to myself, if anybody else at work has a child, I'm going to give them a month's full paternity pay. So Lyle's just had a month off, and he also gets, I think, 5 weeks or 6 weeks holiday because he's been with me so long. So he's just had a month's full pay off paternity leave. That's, for me, that's nothing in the greater scheme of things, a month's full pay, because he's an absolute legend and a real hard worker. Yeah, if anybody else had the baby, I would like to think that they'd have a month as well and really enjoy it. And I don't think you should have a baby and have, and get a week's full or whatever statutory government pay is, because that's shocking. And it's those small little things where you kind of try to help people out. Some people, what I've learned, will take the piss out of you if you're too much of a good guy.
Yeah.
You'll give them an inch, they take a mile. Like we do 20 quid a week or 30 quid a week meat allowance a week, and people will bend those rules a bit, or people will people will start taking the piss if you're too much of a good guy, and that's where you've got to draw the line, which is a fine line. But we have 2 parties a year. We have a good Christmas party, and then we have a summer party as well that we've got to arrange. So I try and do as much as possible that a small business can afford to look after their staff. And you can't always please everybody, but we try. Like Lars said to me, I can't borrow the van at the weekend. Yeah, just ask. I'll either say yes or no. So, and I've worked in enough places. I did mention before where they don't care about that. We do kind of full sick pay after a year for X amount of weeks. That's all in our CASET policy, in our kind of kind of staff policy procedures, where if one of my good guys is really ill, say with cancer, for instance, which Simon mentioned, which I thought was fantastic and great, they will be looked after and get full pay for that X amount of years because they've been with me for, say, 5 years. If one of my staff got really ill, and it's happened in the past, someone had a bit of a long time off, I've tried the best to support them as I could. And there's not enough in this industry that does that. Certainly small scale butchers around the country, and it's tricky if you can afford it or not. But that's how it's really hard if you're a small operation, but thankfully we're big enough to kind of support that aspect to it all, and
I think the years that your team's been there already, credits you enough, mate.
It's humbling. Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, I wish we don't say it to them enough, but
it's insane to have that sort of contained team for that period of time.
I mean, nobody's perfect. I can't please everybody all the time, but especially when you said, is there anyone that ginger pig that's still there? I was like, no, not at all. Not at all. And I don't know how these businesses survive, especially in a customer focused industry. People like to see the same faces, people like that in a service sector. So yeah, it's cool. Yeah. And yeah,
people are creatures of habit, and they want to come in and see Charlie. They want to come in and see Luke. People do like that comfort a bit more. But like you said, like their turnover, constant people, it must just get daunting, and then they just get really disconnected, and they'll just get to that stage where they're like, just give me the chicken heart skewers, please. Yeah, the bavette,
Okay.
People are like, oh, they're really rude, and like, but on the other end, the consumer is like, fuck, here we go, another try and break.
And some customers want a chat. Some customers don't want to chat, and you get to know that. But I think what I struggle with, especially with two shops and the massive wholesale kind of operation, people go, "Oh, Charlie, I've not seen you for ages. I've just worked 9-10 days straight. This is, and it's just like you can't be in one place at once. Hence why you've got to kind of step back from the business. And I still work Saturdays. I'd love to get to the point, which I do, because when they're both kids, one's at school full time, the other's just about to start nursery. I want to be there at weekends, and I've worked so hard to get to that point. Yeah. But then on the back point, you get customers going, "Oh, I never see Charlie anymore." It's that whole, but you can't have one and not the other. It's that balancing act. And I do enjoy work. I love it. I really have a passion for it and really enjoy serving customers. That's what I enjoy doing. I'll make sausages all day and serve customers. I'm quite happy doing that, and I clean the toilets still. I'm not, which is good or bad, judge that management as you want. It's an example to set, but I'll do anything at work. I'll go and deliver I'm one of the delivery drivers. I'll chat to restaurants, chefs, that's how we can grow and sell and relationships. So, but staff is cool, and I'm really proud of what we've created. And especially when people, I remember years ago, just touching this, I was in Hackney, and someone walked past with a Flock Herd bag, and I was like,
that's me.
I was like, that is mad. That is mad. Or if someone goes, "Oh, I've heard of your shop," or "I've heard of Flock Herd," because when people ask me, I'm just a butcher, and that's all I am. I'm just a butcher, and that's why it's humbling when people, it's cool, and I love that aspect to it all, really. So
yeah. What sort of person are you looking to hire?
Oh, anyone. And I'll say anyone. Train. Yeah, there's nothing worse than an old person. Like I said, a trainee, someone who's willing to work hard, listen, and turn up. And it's not even smart, because I provide a shirt. We get shirts from TM Lewin, so you don't even need that. Work. You can mold it.
Imagine someone just turning up topless. You said you would supply a shirt.
We've got aircon, so they'll be all right. But we've got just work hard, turn up, and just we are quite both of our shops and areas are quite small, so you've kind of got to get on with people. So and we'll find. I mean, it's what you want is a chef that doesn't want to work late nights and doubles, and you're in straight away, and someone who's into food and knows how to cook, and the rest is easy. So
I'd say work hard, turn up, personal hygiene. I've always said it for years. Fucking personal hygiene. Put some deodorant on or cologne. Brush your fucking teeth and shave your beard if you need to, or whatever. Brush your hair. Yeah. It's your customer facing. People just don't get it. 20 years nearly been in this industry. People just don't get it.
No, totally. So it's that's all you need, and at work we serve customers, the butchers serve. So my brother lives in Sydney, and whenever I go there, I always go and visit all the butcher shops there, and have been into Victor Churchill's. Hundreds of people say it's the best butcher shop in the world, and it's fantastic. But I was intimidated when I went in there, and I thought, the butcher didn't serve me, and I love it when somebody who cuts the meat serves, and I think that's the whole service aspect of it all. So I expect the butchers to know how to cook, know what's in our sausages, know what's what, because if we haven't got it, you've got to recommend something else. You've got to think on your toes. If we've not got onglet, we've got bavette. If we've not got shin, we've got chuck, we've got feather blade, we've got short ribs, we've got oxtail, we've got, it's all those other aspects.
It comes with experience and learning how to deal that with yourself and who you are as a person and how you're selling.
And if you're into food as well,
that's it. That's a big one for me.
Yeah, everyone always says, "Oh, what's your favorite thing?" Like people say, "What's your favorite thing to eat?" I love sausages, beef burgers, and chicken wings. I rarely eat a steak because that for me is a real treat, and I have a steak for 4 or 5 months. And when I have it, I never had it really when I was growing up, with too much money and not really, mum would cook something that was a bit more effort, like, so when I have a steak at home now, it's like, a real treat. And I still think that's the way that I look at it, because, I just think you can judge a good butcher's on a sausage and a burger or whatever. And, that's how I do it. And you've got to think on your feet and offer alternatives if you've not got it.
All right, Charlie. So over to the next segment. We like to give all our guests a guest question. You ready for these, mate?
Yeah, far away.
So number one, what's the top of your bucket list?
I'd like to go travelling. I never really had the money or the time when I was younger to go travelling, but I'd love to do 2 or 3 months somewhere. I've visited Australia, I've been to India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Vietnam. I've done loads, but I'd just love to go away for maybe just enough, 2 or 3 months, enough to stay in kind of half decent hotels rather than hostels, but just as later life. Just really visit a country, like really dig deep into it. India's a fantastic country. It's just mad. It's mental. And I like that. And it's so different. And it makes you really appreciate stuff in life, I feel, when you visit places like that. And I'd just love to, go to India and explore the Golden Triangle, go to the border, go up to the mountains, down to Kerala, Sri Lanka country. I've been there before, but I'd just love to do that and just really go and enjoy it and not hold back with cost or anything, but to stay in nice hotels and that kind of thing. But we'll see one day.
Get a good night's sleep instead of the hostels.
It's nice hotels, and just 2 or 3 months is enough, because I like my own bed and like my house. So
you're not wrong. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Traveling. 3 people to invite to dinner, dead or alive, and why?
Keith Whittingstall, because his meat book was one of the reasons why I got into butchering. And that book, I don't know how old it is, but I remember when I worked at a kind of courier's firm, me and a bloke there just both had it and used to read it for hours. So
nice.
He's been my biggest food idol, I'd say. I've always thought if he came into the shop, I'd be amazed by it. And I did a venison butchery course pre going to Leeds, actually, at his original River Cottage. It was just amazing and loved it. And he's a huge inspiration. I used to watch DVDs and programs for hours when I was in Leeds with a flatmate, and just watch them all, because it's just so relaxing. So him, Shane Warne, because I love cricket.
Yes, Warnie. R.I.P. led.
Yeah, and I got his autograph at the Oval once, and it's one of those people that is just a fantastic cricketer and a beautiful athlete as well.
The golden hair, baby.
He kind of liked to drink, and he was just an incredibly talented bloke, and dating Liz Hurley. He's just mad, isn't he? Just bonkers. And then the other one would just be my cousin, who lives in New Zealand but came over last week. I saw him for the first time in 6 years, who used to live near our old shop, who's incredible, lovely bloke, who's funny, just witty, into food, who obviously lives in New Zealand, and he's not the best at communicating, but whenever I see him, I'm just like, man, I miss you so much. And he's a lovely bloke, really. So those 3, I think.
That's brilliant.
I love that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Where do you see the future of butchery going?
I personally think it's fantastic. I think it's incredibly strong. It's a lot stronger from when I started years ago. Incredibly strong. I just look at, the supermarkets have done so much. You can get a flat iron steak in a supermarket now, can't you? You can get a short rib. You can get split marrowbone canoes in Waitrose.
Yeah.
I think the future of butchery, I've spent hours researching online. It's tricky. I've ordered meat online to see what it's like from loads of places. I think that's an incredibly tough and tricky market. I think the key is just quality, service and location, because you could have a fantastic butcher shop, but if the location is wrong and your demographic isn't quite what your market is, I think you're in trouble. So, if I visit another butcher's shop, say, for example, in Leeds, or if I go and see my cheeser up in York, he'll take me to butcher shops, and there's some fantastic shops up there. They'll sell 250 pork pies. We've stopped selling pork pies in both shops because nobody buys them. And it's that whole, if we set up north, nobody would or a different location to where we are, or if we did the Peckham shop in Beckenham and the Beckenham shop in Peckham, they might not work. So I think it's really knowing your demographic and what your customers want, and really, we sell wine in both shops and sell quite a lot of wine and craft beers and charcoal, and we sell eggs at pretty cheap. We sell a few items just to get not people through the door, but like our sausages are relatively cheap, our mince is relatively cheap, our staple stuff is quite good value, I'd like to think, and eggs are cheap, so people, I think the high street's strong. There's some high streets out there that are really struggling. I don't think the government have done hardly anything, and the new government won't do anything I wouldn't have thought, and stuff like business rates, in terms of corporation tax is shocking. Our corporation taxes, you pay on profit, which is fine, but it's big, and there's Google, Amazon, Starbucks, you can, Google them all and they pay a fraction of that. I find it, and doesn't help the high street.
No.
So, but I think that the produce we have in this country is the best in the world in terms of meat. I think our beef is phenomenal. Like the posh light does that. I think our lamb is exceptional. I think our pork is very good. We're lucky to be in Europe and be so close to Iberico pork. French poultry is stunning. Yeah. The quails, like the example being, and I go to Australia, I won't see possibly a quail or a guinea fowl, or much duck or veal. I know Fitz Churchill was doing that, like White Rocks veal, but you won't get much of that. We sell all of that at work. So we've got we're on the doorstep of such beautiful produce in this country and in Europe. I think the butchery industry is strong, and it's being flexible and nimble enough to make a different burger. And if butchers are, like we do, a black label burger, which is inspired from Turner and George did one, but also a restaurant called Minetta Tavern in New York that does this burger that's not on the menu that they do, and we sell it at work, and we've kind of rebranded it as Rib Cap in Beckenham. So we do loads of different. It's just being nimble and moving with the times. Like I said, we'd never sell short ribs, bone it out for brisket, and now we're selling loads of short ribs. So it's just and flexible and not just doing pre-cut steaks. You can have it as thick or as thin as you want. That's the service. If you want one sausage, you can have one sausage. I don't mind. I don't care. As long as you're polite, I don't mind. And that's why, especially if you live on your own, butchers of shops are fantastic. So you can get 100 grams of mince, and just a service, it's that's, and I think butcher shops, the ones that are still going to be about, are going to be good and strong. And I think there's enough demand and health benefits and awareness for it, I think. Yeah. I think it's great. Right. It's really good, the trade in this country. So, yeah.
Let me ask you this then. So you were saying about flexible, nimble and everything. With the way that the farming protests and everything that's happening now with the farmers, do you think that the meat industry has been too flexible and now this is the uprise of that's enough?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just supply and demand, really. And I think like you've touched on another, like the lamb prices have just been mad, have been bonkers. And I'm just like, we were paying, I can't remember what it is. I get the prices each day sometimes, but it's just like the price is mad. And who's going to buy a leg of lamb at that money? Who's going to buy it? And I don't like changing our prices all the time for up or down because A, I haven't got enough hours in the day. B, I'd have to be printing out tickets and laminating them and updating our scales. And you can't. It's tricky, really tricky. I think that's why I think abattoirs and small abattoirs, the ones that are still about, are doing quite well and have found their little niche in life. Like Fowler's we work with in Essex supply quite a lot of really good butchers. And I think they're the key to the industry, really. Yeah. I mean, I'm fed up of, it's just like Wagyu. We sell Wagyu in Beckenham, but it's English Wagyu. But it's just like, greatest respect. I've eaten Wagyu in Neil Perry's Rockpool in Sydney, one of the best restaurants at the time in Australia, and the Wagyu was fantastic. But I'd never dream of buying Australian Wagyu in this country. Why would I do that? It's mad. It's bonkers. I'm not saying that the Australian stuff isn't good because I've had it and it was absolutely stunning and delicious. I like that when I'm in Australia, thanks.
That Stone Axe Wagyu looks fucking stunning, man.
Good. I mean, there's loads of stuff, that's just like, I'd love to try that. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like when you have a steak somewhere, people say, "Where's your best steak?" It's always a place where it was this big and it was so cheap, and I was so pissed. It was delicious. That's what people have in their mind about it.
Yeah,
right.
Just it's quality over quantity. And it's just like utilizing it all. Like a chicken we had on Sunday, we used it in a stir fry on Tuesday. I think it's just all those little things, really. And it's but I think younger people are getting into food as well. So
yeah. Very much so. They're more aware of where the food's coming from.
Yeah,
that's their first question.
100%. And I'm only talking about London, so I can't really say about the rest of the country. But there's little pockets around the country where there's good food stuff really happening, really good. So, and it's not just meat; it's like cheese, veg. It's salami, it's coffee. Loads of stuff, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Rightio.
Great outlook.
Yeah, I love it. It's good. Death row meal, starter, main, dessert, and what you drinking?
Prawn cocktail, beef burger, banoffee pie.
Oh yeah.
And just I've gone off drink. Actually, I don't really drink much anymore.
What about a milkshake?
Yeah, it would be like a Five Guys milkshake, a really cold, crisp lager, or a glass of white wine. To be fair, or even a jug of Pimm's or something. Actually,
oh yeah, banoffee pie and Pimm's. I think very
good combination, or a pina colada. But I don't know. Yeah,
Should we on Saturday, if they're selling jugs of Pimm's, Lukey, should we get a selfie and be drinking Pimm's just for you, Charlie?
Yeah.
Oh, Pimm's, yeah. And also, if you're lucky, you might get a few strawberries in there or cucumbers, which I'd eat personally. Yeah. But
we have to. It consumes the alcohol, so you got to eat it.
You judge me if you like, but it's just it's like a little dessert, isn't it? I love the Pimm's, but yeah. So that's what I have.
Nice.
Yeah, love a burger. I'm a real burger man.
Yeah, love it. Always loved the burger. Always been my favourite meal. That or sausage and mash. That's it. Straight up. Forget a steak. Not interested. No, burger or sausage.
A man of the culture.
Yeah.
Cheap date, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're drinking Pimm's, baby.
Yeah, not a joke.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
Right. Last question is a very important one. Are aliens real?
It's totally the other day when I was listening I normally just don't really listen to this question you ask other people, but when I listened the other day, like, you come last, oh geez, there'll be other planets. Yeah, of course there will be. Yeah, 100%. I think there's other life. Of course there is. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, I struggle to believe the globes are a circle, a ball, but of course there is. There's other, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you thinking that we're like on a disc? So with the dome on top
are you
of
a
it?
fat earther, Charlie?
Yeah.
I never thought about it really. I'm not sure.
We're surrounded by a ring of ice. If you go too far, you fall off.
Yeah.
No, you can't. You can't get over the wall.
Think, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, did they land on the moon or was it just a warehouse somewhere? I mean,
and now they're now on the moon. There's a tunnel now, and people seem to think that's where the original humans are from.
I don't know. I don't go too deep. But I don't know. Yeah, is it flat? I don't know. Yeah, who cares? I mean, yeah,
we're here right now.
Live and die on it, mate.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Carry on eating good meat, and that's in a flat world and aliens. So,
oh, Charlie, this has been absolutely awesome to have you on, man.
Awesome.
No, it's been cool. Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, no worries, man. Pleasure.
No, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, mate. It's been great.
I'm off to bed.
Well,
yeah. No problem at all. And we'll give this moment for you to plug and promote anything and everything, Charlie Shaw.
Just what Flock and Herd and stuff, or just,
go again.
I've got a private Instagram account. I don't really use it. I'm more of those kind of stalkers, really. But
just lurking. But,
I can see your window, baby.
Yeah.
Flock and Herd, Peckham and Beckenham, anywhere with ham in, really. And that we own that says, just two independent butchers with a wholesale line to it. Slowly growing. I don't know where the future of our business is. I never thought we'd get to this size in this space of time. So there's no kind of pressure or anything like that. Just trying to do our best in a competitive market, I guess, and just trying to do. And sometimes I said earlier, sometimes your best sometimes our best isn't the best, and we're not perfect, and, I make mistakes. I think just trying to do our best for the small retail and wholesale industry is key to it, really. So, that's Flock and Herd in a little nutshell. And hopefully it'll continue to kind of grow and be sustainable for the next, 20 or 30 years, hopefully. And that would be brilliant.
That'd be brilliant.
I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah. Hopefully it's carry on.
Yeah. I'm sure it will, man.
Yeah, hopefully. But we're in good stead and we've got good foundations. So we're cool.
And you're looking for a new staff member. So reach out, hit Charlie up if you want to.
Yeah, totally. We've had a few people apply who look quite interesting. So fingers crossed, someone will often pop up and stuff. So it's just someone that's going to work hard and get on with the team, really. Yeah.
Cool. I'll send my CV over tomorrow.
We've
already done it.
I don't know if we can afford you, Luke, to be honest, mate.
All right, I appreciate that.
No, you're a good butcher, so I like your Instagram stuff. Not enough posts.
Not recently. I know I've been a busy boy recently.
It's a clean bones. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I've never been able to get it as clean as that.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, little techniques, but it's all good.
Brilliant, Charlie.
Nice,
really appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much.
Man. Thank you.
That's
Pleasure.
right.
Really, really cool.
Alrighty, gang. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Just a few things from us. Don't forget to get your balls, boobs, and butts checked. Luke's merch is over on his fake duck collection. Check it out. He does an amazing range. He's also got a new couple of designs coming out. Follow Charlie Shaw on Flock and Herd. And we will see you Saturday at Smoke and Fire. And if not, we'll see you on the Monday episode. We will be hanging out of our asses. We love you. Take care. Bye now.
Cheers, guys. Bye.